What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be previewing round 15. It's Port Adelaide versus Brisbane at the Adelaide Oval this Saturday at 1:15 p.m. It's an early time slot, it's an early game, and this week we're going to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of the premiership 2004 by wearing the commemorative 2004 premiership Guernsey. As you can see, that one right there. It's going to be a special day. Unfortunately, I won't be there due to playing footy, but I'm sure a big crowd will turn out to commemorate that Guernsey and celebrate the success that it has brought. Although one flag, it's brought a lot of great memories, and it is a retro Guernsey for 2024. So a lot to play out this week. It is a crucial game and one that we must simply win, and it's against the Lions outfit, who have found some good form of late. So let's just get straight into it and preview round 15. Of all weeks to sit here and isolate this season and isolate one game, I think this is the week. This is the week you set yourself aside and go, right, it doesn't matter about where we stand in the season. It doesn't matter how we are and what we did last week. We sit here and we pay respect to that Guernsey. That Guernsey there is crucial to our whole history of the AFL. Like, that is what's a part of us. It brought us a premiership. It is iconic for so many players. I mentioned Lade, Burgoyne, Treadray, Ebert, Wanganeen, I'm Thurston. So, like, you throw these names out there that have represented the club in that time, like Jew, Mead, Cockatoo, Collins. Like, all these players have worn that Guernsey. That they represent something so much more than what it is today. And to, like, today, the Guernsey goes, oh, we're putting it on sale. Like, it's a retro Guernsey. It means a lot to us fans that have been there since day one, and people that love the history of the club. Like, we talk about history, and we talk about prison bars, and we talk about the iconic sample days of premierships and everything like that. That Guernsey means a lot. So I think this week you sit here as a Port fan and you go, right, if we don't win this week, this is not just a detriment to our season. It is, it's not paying homage to that Guernsey. It's not paying homage to what we've tried to build. We've got people coming in for the club that have represented this club, that have brought presented Guernseys to the new players. They're players that played on the grand final day in 2004. Like, they are iconic people, and if we can't represent and respect that by getting a win on Saturday, then I'm not sure how the fan base will react, to be honest. I'm not sure how everyone will feel after that. And then again, if you don't want to isolate it and you want to pinpoint a crucial moment in this season, then you've got to beat Brisbane, who are in good nick. And we're coming into this one, losing 2 in a row at home. We should be winning this game to re-cement ourselves, reconnect. Because, it's not a top 8 side, but it's still Brisbane. They are grand finalists from last year. They are still a team that have a lot of quality. They have some good key forwards in form at the moment. Danaher and Hipwood on fire. They've got the likes of Dunkley and Neal and Rayner, who are firing. McLuggage played his best game for the season last week. Down back, they've got Andrews, and they've got good quality players there. They're not 100%. By all means, they're not 100%. They're gettable. I just think, this is the week that you go, right, if you want to come out and represent Port Adelaide against Brisbane, who are an arch rival, they've beaten us from pillar to post recently. I think this is the one that you just have to stand up for, and I'm nervous. Like, this is a game for me that I'm like sitting here going, if we lose this, they're dropping out of the 8. Like, this is something I just didn't expect at the start of the year. I expected us to make the 8. I expected us to be top 4. How well of a top 4 side we'd be, not sure. Push come to shove, 14 games in, I haven't seen anything that's worthwhile to say that we're going to do any damage. I haven't seen anything to convince me that we're a top 8 side. We've won games that we probably should have. But then again, we lose to teams like GWS on the weekend, who are in a similar position, but we get beaten around the ground. It is what we're going to do to match Brisbane is we've got to beat them on the ground, like in the air. We've got them for. I don't think we've got them for pace. I think we've got them for the ability to rebound. They're not a good side when it comes to being the. Put their pressure back onto them. Like we saw against St Kilda, they were able to kick multiple goals in a row, and no one could keep up with their avalanche of goals and the pressure that they had. But once people turned it on and just forgot about defence, going goal for goal with Brisbane, you can match them. You can get into their heads and really put the pressure back on them. And I think we've got to do that. Forget about this team defence and this high press zone And play man-on-man footy. That's what won us a flag. Bring it back. It wins games of football if we do that. Make it simple for the opposition to try and, if we try and beat our own opponent, like, make it simple. If they can't beat us one-on-one, they're not going to beat us anywhere. So that's the mentality I sort of have this week for this game. We haven't had, as I mentioned, a great record, but I think back to round 1 last year against Brisbane where we annihilated them. I just think this is a certain time where Ken Hinkley and Connor Rozee sit down and say, right, enough's enough. And Port fans have been saying enough's enough for the last 10 years. But we sit here and we go, right, if we're going to put our foot down, if you're going to be happy with the way we're going and everything goes right as rain when everything's going your way, fantastic. But when the backs are against the wall like they are now and the pressure is on, coming from the media, coming from internally, from your fans, 15 rounds in, you want to be making a statement. This is the one for me. So if you can't stand up in this, then start looking to next year. I don't like giving up on seasons. I don't like giving up on people. But at this stage, if change doesn't happen, if we can't get the win this week, then it's just a lot more disappointing. And our fans are not going to be happy losing in that Guernsey. We lost in the prison bars against the Crows last year. Weren't happy about that at all. So if you don't represent that Guernsey and come out firing, then yeah, if that is not the bare minimum motivation, this is why I keep mentioning that Guernsey. I keep saying that Guernsey, but if you don't represent that, and the bare minimum is to have the motivation to, when you're in that Guernsey and you're playing for this club, if that isn't your bare minimum motivation for this week for any of the players out there, then I'm not sure what I can say that's going to prove a point. So that's the bare minimum this week. And I just hope we get the job done because, the star players for Brisbane are definitely on. They're on a quest. They've got to win these games coming up against quality opposition. Our run over the next few weeks it's not easy. Nothing's easy in footy, as everyone says, but a lot easier before the back end of the year. So if we can nail Brisbane, I'm not even going to say the rest of that. I want to nail Brisbane. I want to get this win this week. Changes this week. Well, we saw Zach Butters got off from his tribunal, which is fantastic. Don't know how that is even a suspension anyway. But he got off, which is great, which means he's free to play this week. I think Francis Evans will go out for Rioli. That's my guaranteed selection. Whether or not Sweet comes in for Ollie Lord or Finlayson comes in for Ollie Lord to be, that second ruck rotation, I'm not sure. But Finlayson had a very good game in the Maggies last weekend, which, by the way, congratulations on the win for the 1000th game in the at Alberton. That's a great celebration. So at least one Port Adelaide team got a win on the weekend and their first win of the year too. So very well done. But I can see Finlayson coming back in. Dixon's obviously under suspension cloud. I'm not sure who will get that downgraded. I'm currently recording this on a Tuesday night, so if he gets off, fantastic. If he doesn't, not going to happen. I think he'll still get weeks anyway because it's a sample. So he won't come in. But yeah, they're the players I sort of be playing around a bit. I think Rioli for Evans is a given. Anything after that is going to be a chop and change sort of, look in and see what's going on. But I think Finlayson definitely come back in as well. Just don't know who exactly. So we'll see how it pans out. I'm going to tip us to win. I think winning by 24 points. Port by 24 in the 2004 Guernsey. The bit of numerology there. That's what I'm tipping us by. I'm not 100% confident at all, no. But I want to be confident in tipping. So I'm going to tip us. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Port fans would love to hear what you're thinking about this week's game against the Lions and also your thoughts on that Guernsey. And yeah, if you're attending this week, I'm very much looking forward to it still. It is still Port Adelaide. I'm still going to be here. I won't be at the game, but I'm still going to be here and riding every single bump this bloody team gives us, eh? Well, thank you very much again for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. My name's Anthony, and as always, can't pair.